Russian TNO. Let's see if they actually have all that. I don't think that's all of them. Right, I fucking hate how this is set up. We're not dealing with this shitty A plus B plus, none of that shit. Get the fuck out of here. Miss me with that. Delete. Delete. No Novosibirsk. Let's see. Okay. Are we doing this? I'm down to do it. I gotta try to remember who all these guys are. I feel like I have an okay grasp of it. We got Rebel. Where's Shukshin? There we are. Okay. Even though I have no clue what's going on, fair enough. Download TNO, great mod. I think you'll enjoy it. It's very story oriented, but I think it's still a great time. Okay, S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, D tier, and F tier. Yes, I've S tier. No, of course. Okay. Starting off with Vyatka. Liberal Vyatka. I think that's A tier. You have a old Vladimir as a constitutional monarch. I think that's a pretty solid pick. Constitutional monarchy, he can't really overstep his boundaries. Benevolent monarchy, you have a functional democracy running. I don't see a problem with that. Conservative, I think that's more C tier. Could be worse. Monarch has a bit more power. Vladimir seems like an okay guy. He was a German. They kidnapped his wife and his daughter, and they said if he didn't work with them, they would kill them. I mean, all things considered, that if you have to collaborate, that's fair enough. If you have to do that, fair enough. That's all I'm saying. And I mean, he regrets it. I played a bit of Yaka. He does regret it. Seven is too blessed. I don't get it. Off them. Vyaka. I think that's D tier. I mean, spoilers, but it's Himmler's preferred path through a reason. That's who he supports for Russia. Off them is basically business as usual from like 1905 on. So with that in mind, yeah. Vyatka, I like Vyatka fine. I think it's a very fun path. I haven't played a full game admittedly, but I like Vyatka a lot. But your mileage may vary. Okay, so this is, I think this is Cheetah, the guy who gets in after if Mikhail doesn't manage his coup and he gets kicked out. If he doesn't kick the white. Yeah, okay. White Russian rule. Kind of a D tier, I think. You basically have the authoritarian, borderline fascistic government. He's a puppet of it all. It's not a fun mix. It's not fun at all. It's not a good mix at all. And so with that, I think D tier. You don't have a benevolent monarchy. He can't do anything. I don't even think he wants to. I haven't played Cheetah that much, so I can't comment for shit, really. But, yeah, it's not a fun go of things. Okay. Sablin. Off-Soch Sablin. Probably C or D. I'll go Also, Chaplin is B? Really? That's a... I mean, I'll go C. I think Offso Sablin is not as bad as some of the other picks, or as bad as it could be. Um, it's kind of, I think it's thematically, I think it's a really interesting path because he become he became the thing he swore to destroy. So thematically, I like that. But for Russia, I mean, I can think of a lot worse communist states to be under. For a reunified Soviet Union. But I can think of a lot better. Speaking of better, Sablin, wholesome 100 Chungus. With how they present it, it is kind of S tier. I'll put this with a caveat that I think realistically it probably wouldn't be all hunky dory. I think even the devs said that we're gonna add some events to make people realize, all right, not everyone's along for the ride. But I think all things considered, I mean, you'll have a democracy. You'll have other parties being even able to serve, function in democracies. It's a very idealized version of Leninism, but it's still, not bad. All things considered. So, yeah. Okay. Yagida. Irkutsk. The other side of that little civil war. Some less Russian would die after he passed away. Probably. Well, he is a younger guy, so he does have time to, set things up. But yeah. Okay, Yagida. I think this is F tier. From what I've experienced. Yagida's D. Huh. Well, here's the thing. You can liberalize the economy, and economically it'll be fine. But if you're living there, and you don't like communism, you're fucked. If you say anything, you're tossed away. It's the NKVD police state, essentially. And that's not pleasant to live under at all. He's not that bad. State your case. I'll come back to it. We'll move on to his successor, KGB all the way. There we go. I forget his name. He's the successor. He's basically a more free version of Yagida. I haven't played him fully, so I can't comment fully. So I'll just kind of go with what I had to. A more liberalized Russia. I mean, it's not bad. Towards the end, Libsoch Zhukov. I'm not sure, actually. We'll get to that eventually. C tier. I'll take your guys' word for it. C tier. I mean, he opens it up. He ends the whole police state thing, so I'll take that. All right, Alexander Men. The Divine Mandate of Siberia. Christian Anarchism. I think A tier. I think that's fair. It's a bitch to play. Like, I see the AI struggle with it constantly. B? I mean, I see the AI struggle with it constantly. Man is one of the guys who can unify Russia and then have it fall together. Yeah, I think B tier, actually. It's a lot more wholesome than it actually turns out to be. It actually does work kind of well. Yeah, I think B is actually kind of fair. Okay, we have the successors of Kemerovo. Lydia and Yuri. Every word in that sentence is wrong. Christian anarchism. Yeah, it doesn't sound like it would work. In practice, from what I can tell, it does work pretty well. Okay, Lydia, Yuri. He doesn't actually increase research and industry rush, really. Well, yeah, fuck. Yeah, Russia doesn't sound like they're in a strong position then, if that's the case. Okay, Lydia. Lydia gets the D. Oh, that's sexist. I don't like how you put that. That's not okay. Do I disagree with that assessment though? Yuri's blessed. Socialist monarchy. Lydia's just too authoritarian. From my understanding of, I don't know. I'll do Yuri first because I think he's a bit more interesting to go over. It's either B or A tier. She's literally despotic. Yeah. B or A tier. I don't know. I'll go A. I mean, monarcho-socialism, it's a fun meme. I was sad when they cut it from England. Although you can apparently do it if you do HMMR, do conservatives first and then get them. Yeah, I'm seeing A tiers, A rankings. It's fun. He does seem like he has the best interest of Russia at heart. Okay, Lydia, maybe D. I think D is honestly fine for, like, how Russia would be left up, you know, the fate of Russia moving forward. I'm kind of tempted to move her up to C because she does sound like afterwards she would be willing to open things up a bit more from my understanding of things. D for despots. I mean, for, like, all the other dictators, I mean, yeah. I think that's mostly fair, honestly. Okay, I'm trying to remember. Are both of these Siberian Black Army? Are both of these the anarchists? I'm trying to remember. Anarchist is F, hate the bandits. Okay, they're both anarchists? Okay, I'm trying to remember. What's the difference between both, then? One is socialism, anarchism. Okay. I'll pull up TV tropes, figure out which is which. TV tropes, characters. Central Siberia, Siberian Black Army. Okay. Right, yeah. I figured it out. This is the actual socialist anarchism, which I'll put B tier. Realistically, I don't think I have my doubts on whether it would work well or not, but how it's presented in the game, it does seem like a pretty solid option. You know, it works kind of well, so we'll go with it. And then for this is basically, it's not anarchism anymore, it's just despotism. Yeah, they literally crowdfund the atom bomb. That's fucking funny. I like that a lot. The despotist path is D tier. It's just another shitty fucking dictatorship, from my understanding, that has anarchist rhetoric. Who the fuck is calling me? I'm busy. Okay. Yeah, D tier. Okay, we got the two normal guys from Magadan. So not the meme one. What's his name? Mitkovsky. New phone, new dis. Exactly. Mitkovsky, I think D tier. You go to as F, anarchist or D. I mean, yeah. I mean, at the very least, like, you have some sort of illusion of freedom with the despot anarchist, from my understanding. Yagada, there's no fucking bullshit. I mean, the economy is okay. It's a liberalized economy, but that's more incidental than anything. Yeah, Yagada is Dengus NKVD. Hold on, I'll look at this real quick. I'll tell him 130. Alright. Alright, and so Petlin. From what I understand, generally solid pick, wants to have an American-style democracy. He puts the democracy into authoritarian democracy. I'll take it. I think that's an A-tier pick. I mean, I have, for all the issues with American democracy, it's a lot better than a lot of the fucking other crap that Russia could get. So, no, I'll give it an A-tier for Petlin. His heart's in the right place. Yeah, Beria's dead. I mean, it's 60s anyway. He's killed in RK Caucasian. Kofsky's was... He's not... Maybe, I don't know. We'll come back to that eventually. Okay. My man. Kosygin with the sly hat. I love the new hat. I love the new hat. I think he's at S tier. No question in my mind. I'm very, very sad that he doesn't finish it. Yeah, I think, I played him, for the Democratic run. I think he's, oh yeah, do check it out. It's a great fucking mod. I'll send you a video after this that kind of goes over some of it. It's a great fucking ride. Yeah, Beria's the good guy in TNO. Yeah, Kosygin's S tier. He sets up a really solid democracy. He does pollution controls. You can decide whether you want to deal with the radicals or kind of integrate them better. Oh yeah, we'll figure it out. He's a solid pick in general, I think. For most of the Democrats, I think he's probably the best pick, honestly. Although I don't know about, maybe, I don't know. Okay, so we're moving into the sort of... We're moving into Comey territory coming up. So, Shafarovic. I think that's Shafarovic. Zaikov is in the mod. He is right here. Zaikov only has 3 successors. I do know that. They are not... That's more TNO 2 stuff, unfortunately, so we won't be able to comment on them. Which is good, because I barely know anything about them. I know the one that is, I know the one who is also an option for leader of Comey, if it goes Democratic. That's really about it. Shafarvik. If you're a Russian in Russia and you're under Shafarvik, it's not too bad. If you're a minority, it's pretty rough. I'm debating D tier, maybe C tier. That's a big stretch. He basically sets up like a democracy in name only. The ballots are stuffed. Just 6, yeah. I'll let you guys talk about Shafarvik. I'll brainstorm that a little bit. We'll move on to Serov, because I've played him. I have personal experience. And Serov is F for Jesus fuck. This is bad. I mean, he's a former NKVD chief. He basically realized, hey, you know what? The Nazis had some point with our whole ideology stuff. That's his whole thing. And so he creates national socialism. Literal national socialism. So yeah, he's not a good guy. He becomes paranoid, goes after, what is it, hereditary reactionaries, basically minorities. He has kind of a funny event where he starts writing about the evil Koreans and starts blaming them for all Russians' problems. It's almost cartoonish how bad it is. He canonizes himself as the new Marx. It's a crazy ride. It's a crazy fucking ride. It was fun to play, but, you know, it's kind of that dirty, you have a dirty feeling afterwards. Shafarvik. I think C, not D. D, I mean, if you're having any suppression of... Yeah, I'm not a fan of Shafarvik. I can maybe justify him being in C. But it's going to take a lot of justifying to do so. So I'm putting him in D. Gumalov. I don't know if we want to do D or F for Gumi. Well, okay. Eurasian guy is F. Okay, let's brainstorm this. He loves minorities. I think he's the only Russia far-right guy who doesn't want to kill all the minorities. In fact, he wants to integrate all the cultures into a pan-Eurasianist idea. So, whoever you are in Gumilov's Russia, or sorry, Gumilov's Eurasia, you're not too bad, but at the same time, very expansionist. I mean, it's racist towards Germans, you know, non-Eurasianists. Which, I mean, the racism against Germans, I kind of get a little bit in this timeline, because, you know, the Nazis won and all that. But I think he's one of the worst because he's D or I think F. And I'll put Eurasian guy F. Okay, Suslov. Basically, is he really F? Yeah, I'll stick with F for now. Suslov, basically the man behind the scenes with what's his name? The guy after Brezhnev. Brezhnev. Basically the man behind the scenes on Brezhnev's USSR, so I think D tier. He could be a lot fucking worse, you know, communist dictator wise, but yeah. Okay. Sergey Dabaritsky, the funny clock man. There is no hope under the black sun. Oh wait, fuck, that's not... F. I did not mean to do that for that tier. Add a row below. Oh shit. Suslov is B. I don't know about... I haven't done that. What I know about Suslov isn't that nice, so that's why I'm justifying the D tier. When I'll revisit these another time when I play more TNO and get a better grasp. Sergey Dabaritsky is single-handedly the worst choice for Russia. Not the worst choice for the world of TNO, but the worst choice for Russia without a fucking doubt. I mean, he's a schizophrenic who believes that the Russian monarch, Alexei, the former czar, former heir to Nicholas II, before, they all fucking were shot, is still alive. He establishes this batshit crazy theocratic state where if you drop your tools, you're executed. If you commit any sort of crime, you're executed. If, you solve a poverty issue by killing all the poor people. It's fucking horrific. I mean, the memes are funny, but it's literally Burgundian system Russia. It is Burgundian system Russia. It's fucked beyond all belief. So yeah. Okay, Pukrishkin. No one can be poor if there's no one to be poor. Fair point, McEd. Fair point. Okay, Pukrishkin. I think C tier. It's more the authoritarian in authoritarian democracy. I think Russia under him, it's basically cyberpunk. That said, maybe D tier, honestly. Maybe D tier. Malenkov's probably dead. Maybe. I forget. Someone can correct me. You might want to slow it down. Oh, you got a raid? Okay. I gotta head out by 1:30ish. I gotta drop my sister and her boyfriend off for their Christmas thing. Pukrishkin doesn't seem like a bad fate for Russia, but it's a pretty bleak one. From that's how I'd put it. You dating? That's gross. You're telling me, man. That's what I'm saying. He just killed 9% of the Russian population. What's wrong? Right. Some of my Ukrainian friends might not see the issue with Dabaritsky. In that sense. I think he's C because I can think of a lot worse options. He's not the worst option. I just played him. I don't want to spoil for my Novosibirsk game, but Shukshkin, that's his name. A tier. He can set up a actual, United Free Russian Federation. Solid pick altogether, I think, in general. I can think of a lot worse fucking options for a good, solid, democratic Russia. I think Shukshkin is a good pick for that. He goes against the mega corporations in Novosibirsk if you end up unifying. Ooh. I'll save that for later so I can decline it. That's a joke, don't worry. Okay, we have... I know this is Oktan. Is this the other guy in Samara? Need to go, have a nice Christmas. Good night or day, you damn capitalist. Just joking. Thanks for hopping in, my friend. Hope you have a good Christmas as well. And, shit, see you around. Okay, West Russia. I gotta open up and see. Just know for certain who is who. West Russia, Samara. Okay, yeah. Okay, so Oktan. F tier. He doesn't care about Russia. He has a plan to get in and out as soon as fucking possible. He just wants to make some money before he does so, and so he plunders the fucking Russian continent. That's pretty lame. Plus he is a collaborationist. Okay, moving on. Bunachenko. Samara is a case of can you forgive someone for doing the unthinkable? I think a bit more so than Vladimir, because Vladimir, he didn't want to lose his fucking family. That's why he did it. Samara, I think, generally is a case of can you forgive collaborators and can they actually do better? Lockdown is a clear fucking no. They're scum. Bunachenko, I think, actually does want to make Russia better, and he does kind of seem to want something better. Now, from my understanding, what I'm reading on TV tropes, he's basically South Korea under their dictatorship before they became a democracy. Which isn't that good, but at the same time, it can be so much fucking worse. I can think of a lot worse fucking options. Okay, moving on, we got... Why am I blanking on his name? Yeltsin. Boris Yeltsin. Sverdlovsk. I'll go A tier. A solid democracy. Probably might have its issues in practicality. Just, that's the guy who disbanded the Soviet Union. Yeah. He's younger. He's not as much of an alcoholic as he is in our timeline. So, his policies probably is the wide man in his mod. Are we talking about Gorbachev or Putin? If we're talking about Putin, then no. The devs said they're not going to put in Putin because too memey. Yeah, that it would be funny, but alas, no. Okay, Pavel Batov. I mean, I think he would be like a child in this mod anyway, waiting for the sequel. That's what I'm saying. Pavel Batov, B tier. Basically, waiting. It's a choice whether you want to go into democracy or wait until Russia's unified to get to that democracy. Batov is not a bad pick. I actually tend to believe that he will become a democracy. Probably not honestly because he was part of the KGB. Yeah, I don't know. Batov can be so much worse. So it's probably been like 20-something-ish. Yeah, still, I mean, there have been crazier people who have been elected. Shit. I don't know that much about the PRC, actually. So I can't really comment too much on them. So what do you guys say about the PRC? The People's Revolutionary Council? From what I understand, it's basically a military state. Okay, I'll try to think. I'll put it in C tier because I don't know that much about it. I mean, you know, they have the whole Mongol-Russian unity thing going on at the start. I think their hearts are in the right place. I can't really comment much more beyond that. Okay, we'll kind of go with that. Okay, we got Tomsk coming up. This is modernists. A or S tier? I'll go S tier for the modernists. Maybe a bit cliche. I mean, they can decriminalize homosexuality in Russia in the fucking 60s. That's kind of cool. They focus a lot on science, technologically outdoing all of Russia at that time. Not bad. Not bad at all. I have my issue. I have some questions whether Tomsk as a political structure, as a government entity, would be viable with the salon system. But with the idealized version of it as it is, S tier. Carnes. I forget how to say his last name. The Bastelards. I think B tier. Very kind of cynical. He flat out says, "Oh, I don't care about the workers. We gotta have a strong Russia in order to help beat back the Germans. Still democratic, kind of cynical, but I mean, fair enough, I think. Conservatives. Oh, am I getting a raid? Holy shit! Thank you for the raid. Nikki Resol? Festive Android raid. I'll take it. I don't know what that means, but I will fucking take it. Unlike Tomsk's elitist. Fair enough. Festive Android raid. Thank you, my friends. Happy Kwanzaa, or whatever the hell. Oh, fuck. Okay, we're on... I forget his name. The Decemberists. A tier. I actually don't know that much about Decemberists, but I know that most of Tom's spaffs are pretty good if you want a solid reunified Russia. Okay, Raiders. Okay, then we have Humanists. S tier. We'll go with that. I played a little bit of Humanist when I did Tomsk. I ended up getting Monitor selected afterwards because I didn't know what it was doing. But solid economy, welfare state, caring for the people, poverty, all that good stuff. So, good stuff in general. Okay. I forget how you pronounce his last name. Russian Mario. Stalinist Mario. F tier. I mean, he wants to do Stalin. Well, he might literally want to do Stalin, but he wants to do Stalinist Russia all over again. Well, not all over again, because Stalin didn't come to power in this. Stop calling me. I said 1:30. Oh, it's 1:22. I should start wrapping up. We might have to do rapid fire. Yeah, Mario's not a good pick in this. Horribly repressive. Not good. Not good at all. Cornlord Khrushchev. From what I can tell, C tier liberalizes things, makes things better in a Soviet Union. It's not the best Soviet Union that it could be. Still kind of repressive from what I understand, but could be worse. Rebel. 3 young men in a Russian truck. As memey and funny as it is, geez. Talk about unviable. Having an American lead Russia as basically a mercenary state. Basically Metal Gear Solid 5. It's funny for the laughs and the jokes and the memes. It's not viable. It's not gonna last. But it's fun. It's funny. It's one of the paths that I can look and say, okay, it's funny. What do you want? Okay. Tukhachevsky. Red Napoleon. Very militarist, kind of putting all in on reconquering Russia. Not... I think D tier. From what I understand, it's basically stay authoritarian, stay a military state. That's my understanding of Tukhachevsky, and that's not the best. Padot Stalina. C tier. Iron Lady of Russia. Could be worse. Could be better. The whole no more democracy thing kind of sucks, but yeah. Bukarina. B or A tier. I kind of gotta decide. I have to decide eventually. I'll go A tier. You can choose whether you want to repress and kill your political dissidents. Though there is a fair bit of that. Again, maybe a bit too idealized, but I think I played Bukarina. Very fun game in general. You leave Russia, you know, a very compassionate Soviet Union, not the repressy, kill people who don't agree with you. Okay, a bit of a last one. You still kill people that don't disagree with you, but, you know, people are free to do stuff. It's not that bad, ultimately. And probably one of the better Soviet Unions. I'd actually wouldn't mind living in this one. Oh, Brodadevsky. F tier. Literal fucking Nazi. Russian Nazi. Not good for Russia at all. So, yeah. Ofdem Stalina. I think B tier from my understanding. She seems fair enough if she, has democracy. Just make Russia strong, free, all that good stuff. Mikhail II. Maybe a better example of I didn't ask for this. They kidnapped the poor guy from Australia and made him czar. You feel bad for him. If he wins the power struggle, he can set up a constitutional democracy. Not too bad. B or A tier. She liquidates ill education and failures that promote gay rights. Yeah, she's pretty progressive. I mean, decriminalizes homosexuality. I think he even normalizes it. I think she normalizes. B. Yeah, I'll go B with Mikhail. President V. I forget how to pronounce his fucking name. I'm gonna try to pronounce it. Social democracy with racist characteristics. Probably B. Dmitry Yazov, great trial. We have the funny joke going on in the Discord, bonk. A great trial, but realistically, probably one of the worst fucking picks for Russia. For the world, because he will go to war with Germany and cause thermonuclear annihilation. Tests on civilians. Biochemical warfare. So actually, focus tree is not very... Is it? Maybe. I don't know. I'll take your word for it. I'll move him up to... But yeah, Yazov is not that good. Kind of a very bad ending for Russia. Okay. The funny futurist man. Innovative what's the fucking name of it? I'll go C tier for Zhdanov. Visionary socialism, that's it. You got a bunch of weird results. Yeah. Revisionary socialism, right. It's kind of weird. For a while, you can get that one guy, the Lipsoch guy, who makes it better. It depends on who you name your successor after Zhdanov dies, really. But it could be worse. Could be better. Zukov! I think it all depends on how you play Zukov. You could go Lipsoch, Social Democracy, or stay off Soch. For the front, I mean, he's a cannon guy. I can think of a lot worse options. Depends on who your successor is. I'll go A tier, B tier. I don't know. I'll go A tier. Zaikov. I think that's how you say his name. How do you say it? Where is it? Samara. Yeah, Zaikov. Let's get him up there. Zaikov. Oh, people are saying S tier. I'll think about that. Zaikov. Do you think people can redeem themselves? I think Zaikov for Samara is... You should give them the shot, too. S tier, People's Marshal. Yeah, fuck it. No, actually, I mean, because depending on who your successor is, it can be kind of grim for Russia. Not as grim as it could be, but kind of grim. So I'll keep him at A. But I see the argument for S tier. I see the argument for S tier. I'll give Zaikov C tier. He doesn't quite set up a democracy, but he leaves Samara on a path to do it. Generally leaves Russia better off when he leaves it. Okay, a house still divided. Russia not being unified at all. Falling back into a warlord state. D tier. You might be saying, why isn't this F tier? Because looking at some of these unifiers, there are a lot worse fates. I can't speak. A lot worse fates for Russia than that. Okay, now we're getting into the Aryan Brotherhood, the fucking Russian LARPers. Wagner, F tier. If Rozadevsky is a Russian, is a Nazi cosplayer, Wagner is a fucking Nazi simp. He's literally drooling over the Nazis. He wants to be friends with them. Everyone's fucking confused at their existence. I knew that from my Comey LP about succeeding Vosnetsky. Fun stuff. Yeah, slavery. That whole weird, treating some Russians as more superior to others. It's not a good look at all. And then, why am I forgetting? Schultz, Velimir. What does he rename himself? Yeah, Siegfried Velimir. Fucking wacky ass dude. You wouldn't believe that this guy actually thinks what Hyperborea, Christianity was a Jewish plot to weaken the Russian character. I'm not even joking. He wants to invade Palestine and conquer that. It's crazy shit. Probably one of the worst for the world. F tier. The wheel turns. Thermonuclear annihilation. I mean, it's TNO, so they're a lot worse fates than that.